was because of the domestic and global crisis and the performing revenue and no access to international capital markets. Ladies and gentlemen, the good news is that the data shows that the economy is recovering from the crisis we face. Inflation has declined from 54% in January last year to 23% in December 2022. Economic growth is rebounding, spending is under control, and the fiscal deficit as a percentage of GDP has declined from 10.8% in 2020 to 4.2% in 2023. The debt to GDP ratio, after increasing from 61.2% in 2019 to 76.6% in 2021, has declined to 66.4% in 2023. And the exchange rate depreciation has also slowed down sharply since February 2023. Whereas the exchange rate depreciated by 30% in 2022, between February and December 2023, the exchange rate depreciated by only 9%. Ladies and gentlemen, what is remarkable is that notwithstanding the domestic and global crisis that we have experienced between 2020 and 2022, the economic performance as measured by the key economic indicators such as GDP growth, agricultural growth, industry growth, trade balance, exchange rate depreciation, lending rates, gross international reserves, and jobs. The performance of all these key indicators is better under our government than that of the 2013-2016 period, when there was no global crisis. Let me give you two examples for the sake of time. You look at agricultural growth and the stronger GDP growth performance in 2017 to 2022 period is underpinned by a strong agricultural GDP growth, which increased from an average of 2.9% between 2013 and 2016 to an average of 6% between 2017 and 2022. We have done that what we inherited, notwithstanding the crisis. We have made a lot of progress in agriculture, even though there is more to be done. Rice imports, for example, have declined by 45%. From 805,000 metric tons to 440,000 metric tons between 2021 and 2023. The goal is to be a net exporter of rice by 2028. It is clear that some of our policy interventions, such as planting for food and jobs, have borne fruit. I now tackle exchange rate depreciation. On the performance of the cedi exchange rate, it is also interesting to note that between 2013 and 2016, just before we came into office, the cedi depreciated by an average of 17.7% annually. That since 2016, between 2017 and 2020, there was a significant decline in cedi depreciation to an average of 7.5%. The average cedi depreciation further declined to 6.8% between 2017 and 2021. However, the Notwithstanding the domestic and global economic crisis, the depreciation of the city under our government is lower than that we inherited from the 2013 to 2016 period. Let me talk about jobs. What is probably the most remarkable development in terms of the economy is that our government has created 2.1 million jobs between 2017 and 2022. Notwithstanding the global economic crisis, the public sector recruited 1.2 million people, while the private sector, this government has been able to steer the ship of the nation away from catastrophe. In the face of the crisis, the raw performance of the economy in areas such as GDP growth, agricultural growth, industrial growth, trade balance, gross international reserves, and job creation has demonstrated resilience. Ladies and gentlemen, available data also shows that notwithstanding the challenging economy we inherited and the global economic crisis that ensued, government has shown a large number of achievements across the country. Due to the constraints of time, I will only be able to enumerate a few of these achievements. However, government will soon outdoor our performance tracker in the next few weeks, which will detail all of our achievements in every sector and every district in the Republic of Ghana. Yes. We have extended the rural telephony network to more areas than any other government since 1992. We have increased the network from 78 sites to 1,008 sites. We have constructed more fish landing sites than any other government. Exim, Dixo, Mori, Mampo, Winneba, Senyabreku, Gomwa, Pete, Teshi, Keta, Osu, and Kufi, and Asira. Strong and wise. Ladies and gentlemen, our government has constructed more sports facilities than any other government since 1990. We have completed 6 new multi-purpose sports stadiums and 4 ongoing, each of them 10 regions, full 10 regions. We completed the University of Ghana Stadium in Lagos, built multi-purpose sports facilities at Kotema for the African Games, as well as increased the public astronautes. When we came into office, there were only 3 astronautes in Ghana. Today, we have over 150 and still more. We have constructed more infrastructure and implemented more development policies in the Zongo community than any other government since 1990. The Zongo Development Fund has completed over 200 infrastructure projects in Zongo community. We have strengthened the National Health Insurance Scheme, which President Buhari bequeathed, which was on its knees when we assumed office. Between 2013 and 2016, the number of NHIS registrations increased by 500,000, from 10.1 million to 10.6 million. Between 2017 and 2022, on the other hand, the number of NHIS registrations increased by 6.5 million, peaking to 17.1 million. We have also extended NHIS coverage to childhood cancers and hydroxyurea medicine for sickle cell patients. Ladies and gentlemen, we provided free electricity to lifeline consumers and a 50% discount to other consumers for a whole year during COVID-19. It is important very important that you hear that between 2009 and 2016, the average annual increase in the electricity tariffs was 50% a year between 2009 and 2016. Average annual increase was 50% a year. Between 2017 and 2023, on the other hand, the average annual increase has been 11.1%. This is the lowest average annual increase in end-user electricity tariffs for any government since 1992. We have also introduced the National Rental Assistance Scheme to assist people with problems of rent advance. And so far, 1,492 people have benefited from the National Rental Assistance Scheme. Of course, we have implemented free teaching, and we have also implemented free senior high school education. Free SHS has seen an increase in nation. It's also the best since 2015. And what is even more remarkable is that today we have virtually achieved gender parity in the senior high school between boys and girls in Ghana. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I want to go digital.
Yes. Digital man. Mr. Digital. Flow.
We were elected into office in December 2016 to solve many of the systemic problems and challenges that our citizens were facing, and which we had highlighted in our manifesto. For example, there was no unique identity, no property address system, fake birth certificates, and so on. We have lived with many of these problems since independence. For me, to lead is to solve. Indeed, all my adult life, my biggest motivation is about finding solutions. Solutions that improve lives.
Yes.
Solutions that make public services efficient and accessible. Solutions that make society progress. Solutions that protect the public purse. Solutions that make our businesses competitive. I derive my greatest satisfaction from solving problems, and I have done so whenever I am given the opportunity, and will do more if I am in the country to do so.
Digital President Flow.
I had long held the view that many of these problems facing the economy could be resolved through digitalization. In fact, in my 2010 book on monetary policy and financial sector reform in Africa, I proposed digitalization of the economy, improve systems, and create jobs through digitalization.
Yes.
Therefore, as the finance minister oversees the budget through fiscal policy, the governor of the central bank also focused on monetary and exchange rate policy. I focus on the complementary data and systems improvement that will ensure the ease of doing business and change the fundamentals of the economy, making it more dynamic and responsive to modern trends and the management of it more scientific and efficient.
Breaking it.
Ladies and gentlemen, I was thankfully appointed as chairman of the economic management team. As a subcommittee to cabinet, we do not have any decision-making powers, but I am very proud of the quality of advice we have been providing over the years to cabinet. As vice president, I was asked by the president to assist in solving some of the problems that were inhibiting the transformation of Ghana's economy. was to help formalize the economy through digitalization, as stated in our 2016 manifesto. This is why my office has had oversight responsibility for many of the government's digitalization projects. We can only build a vibrant nation if we have strong systems and institutions that work. Very soon, artificial intelligence will transform the world. How are we preparing Ghana for this new phenomenon? I will now come to how we are using digitalization to transform the economy and preparing our society to be competitive as Africa is busily becoming the largest single market in the world with its 1.4 billion GDP. Ladies and gentlemen, a major problem that we had as a country was the absence of a unique identity. You cannot just go and borrow money from the bank and disappear and appear with a new name as we used to have, and this led to higher interest rates. The Ghana card can also be used to travel from abroad into Ghana from 44,000 airports in the world. Initiatives that we are undertaking. That is why its successful implementation has been so important to me. Ladies and gentlemen, to solve the problem of the lack of a working address system in Ghana, with oversight from my office, we have leveraged on GPS technology to implement a digital address system for Ghana, capturing every square inch of land or water in Ghana. Today, every property in Ghana has a unique digital address, along with street names and house numbers. And finding directions to any location is now very easy. Ladies and gentlemen, we face a major problem of a very few people having access to financial services. To solve this problem, I champion the implementation of mobile money interoperability. Mobile money interoperability has made it possible to transfer money seamlessly across different mobile money providers and between bank accounts and mobile wallets. Today, because of mobile money interoperability, you can transfer money from a customer of one mobile money service provider to a customer of a different mobile money service provider, and also make payments from your mobile money account into any bank account, and you can receive payments from any bank account into your mobile money account. Ladies and gentlemen, you can do this 24 hours a day. Apart from achieving financial inclusion, mobile money interoperability has also significantly promoted a cashless culture, especially by our market women and the business community, thus reducing robberies and attacks on market women and business folks on our highways. Armed robbers used to attack vehicles carrying traders, knowing they were carrying cash, but now many traders don't carry cash because they keep their money on their mobile wallets for seamless transactions wherever they are. Today, because of mobile money interoperability, you can also receive remittances from abroad directly onto your mobile wallet without the need to go to a bank or Western Union money transfer. Because the mobile money account performs just like a bank account, as a result of mobile money interoperability, over 90% of Ghanaian adults have mobile money accounts that function just like a bank account. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we have basically solved the problem of financial exclusion in Ghana. The State of Inclusive Instant Payment Report has ranked Ghana as the #1 in Africa in terms of access to financial inclusion. #1 in the whole of Africa. Today, because of digitalization, anyone can do banking and digital financial transactions 24 hours a day. The data shows that at the end of 2016, the total cumulative value of mobile money transactions was 78.5 billion Ghana cedis at the end of 2016. Following mobile money interoperability, the total cumulative value of mobile money transactions has increased from 78.5 billion to 1.9 trillion cedis in 2020. Therefore, between 2016 and 2023, following mobile money interoperability, more transactions have increased by 2,335%, a 23-fold increase. This is why Ghana continues to be the fastest growing mobile money market in Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, the digital payments infrastructure that we have put in place is boosting e-commerce in Ghana. Businesses are booming over Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and so many people who could not afford to rent or build shops are able to do business on the internet at little cost, with deliveries helped by digital address and payments using mobile money interoperability. Ladies and gentlemen, e-commerce can be done 24 hours a day. Ghana is currently ranked #6 in Africa in terms of e-commerce. #6 in Africa, behind Mauritius, Nigeria, South Africa, Tunisia, and Morocco, according to Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, addressing corruption in the public sector, our approach to improving delivery of public services is to minimize human contact as much as possible. Therefore, we embark on an aggressive digitalization of processes of service delivery across many public institutions with coordination from my office. When you look at the passport office, we have digitalized the passport office with oversight from my office. With digitalization, the average turnaround for acquisition of passports has been significantly reduced. And today, because of digitalization of the passport office, you can apply for your passport online from your home 24 hours a day. And loss of revenue to government. Many citizens who had cleared goods at the country's ports had horror stories about their experiences at the port. With oversight from my office, the introduction of a paperless port system has reduced the layers and simplified the process, reduced the time needed to clear goods and the avenues for corruption, and increased efficiency and revenue mobilization at the ports. Digitalization has also taken place at the Drivers and Vehicle Licensing Authority, which offers 2 traditional services: driver licensing and vehicle registration services. And today, the office services that DVLA is offering can be matched well, at the end of 12 months, they can be matched any other country. Ladies and gentlemen, my office also worked with the National Insurance Commission to implement the motor insurance database. The objective of the introduction of the motor insurance database is to provide more safeguards to the millions of Ghanaians who travel by road by ensuring that vehicles are insured. It also cares the minutes of vehicles with fake motor insurance stickers flying our roads and thus endangering lives and property. With digitalization of the motor insurance in Ghana, members of the public can now self-check the authenticity of their insurance policy by dialing a USSD code *920*57#, and follow the instructions. You put in the number, it will tell you whether the car is insured or is not insured. So, today you can know the status of the vehicle, is the insurance status of any vehicle 24 hours a day. Today, because of digitalization, you can also apply for insurance for your vehicle on your mobile phone and receive your insurance sticker electronically. And you can do this 24 hours a day. Ladies and gentlemen, with oversight from my office in the collection of payments by different institutions for government, the progress Ghana has made in the provision of e-government services is remarkable. According to the UNDP 2022 e-governance index, Ghana is ranked #1 in West Africa and #4 in the whole of Africa in terms of e-governance. And we are ahead of countries such as Rwanda, Botswana, Cote d'Ivoire, Senegal, Kenya, and Uganda. With oversight from my office, ladies and gentlemen, digitalization at the Electricity Company of Ghana has allowed the buying of electricity credit on your mobile phone through the mobile ECG app. This has provided relief to customers who no longer have to queue for long hours to buy electricity units. Also, people whose credit runs out at odd hours, they can purchase electricity credit on their mobile phones 24 hours a day. Now, for people who need a new service or a separate meter from ECG, they can also apply online 24 hours a day. 3.5 million people are on the ECG app. As a result of digitalization, ECG's monthly revenue collections have increased from 450 million Ghana cedis a month to 1.2 billion Ghana cedis a month. Ghana has a major challenge in the area of domestic revenue mobilization. The tax to GDP ratio is about 14%, compared to 27% for South Africa and 34% for the advanced OECD countries. Most adults in Ghana are outside the tax net, and compliance is very low. At the beginning of 2017, only 4% of the population of Ghana had tax identification numbers. To increase the number of people with tax identification numbers, I propose that we designate the Ghana card as the tax identification number. In doing this, we have increased the percentage of adults with tax identification numbers from 4% to 85%. It is now incumbent on the GRA to use this database in tax collection to broaden the tax. Furthermore, ladies and gentlemen, with oversight from my office, the SNIT, National Health Insurance, GRA, Controller and Accountant General Payroll, DDLA, SIM cards, and bank accounts have all been linked to the NIA database, linked to the Ghana card. Today, your SNIT number is your Ghana card number. Your NHIS number is your Ghana card number. Your SIM number is your Ghana card. The integration of the database is allowing us to successfully weed out ghost workers on payroll. A biometric audit of the National Service Scheme payroll found about 44,707 ghost workers and potential ghost workers between 2022 and 2024. And this has saved Ghana a total of 356 million Ghana cedis. Also, SNIT has suspended payment of 480 million Ghana cedis to 29,000 ghost pensioners using the Ghana card system. Ladies and gentlemen, we have also recently integrated the Controller and Accountant General Payroll database with the NIA database to eliminate ghost workers on government payroll. Through digitalization, we have finally been able to solve the long-standing problem of ghost workers on government payroll. Ladies and gentlemen, many people, including highly educated people, find the process of filing taxes complex. To make it easier and less cumbersome to file taxes, I challenge the GRA to come up with a simple to use mobile app to enable ordinary people to file and pay taxes using their mobile phone. And this has been done. Today, you can file your taxes 24 hours a day on your mobile. Ladies and gentlemen, in the area of healthcare, digitalization of hospital medical records, to make healthcare easily accessible across the country, we have overseen the connection of health facilities under the Ghana Health Service on one of digitalization. I should note that 93% of the NCA licensed fiber optic cable in Ghana, total licensed fiber optic cable, 7,234 kilometers. 93% of that was put in place since 2017. In addition, we implemented a national government cloud infrastructure, cybersecurity infrastructure, deployed a public key infrastructure, PKI, to provide another layer of security to students, to citizens, to support digitalization. Ladies and gentlemen, what is remarkable about Ghana's digitalization journey is that various initiatives were implemented using local IT companies and local talent. It was deliberately done. So, ladies and gentlemen, if as my prospective employer, you ask me the question, so Dr. Bawumia, you want to be president of Ghana, can you tell us what you did for Ghana in your capacity as vice president? I will say, in response, that I have, with the support of the president, I've had the honor and the privilege to be given the opportunity to initiate, champion, or oversee many problem-solving policy initiatives. Many of these include many of the digitalization initiatives that I have just discussed, the no guarantor student loans with the Ghana card, one constituency, one ambulance, zipline drones, Agenda 111, the Sino-Hydro-Bad Agreement, provision of hydroxyurea for sickle cell patients, Zongo Development Fund, Bank of Ghana Gold Pensions Program, Gold for All Policy, Abolishing Rural Right Taxi Service, System to tackle gross names of the public payroll, and many more. we have made them possible. Criticisms and name-calling eventually gave way to reality, as the nation is really benefiting from these initiatives. What we have been able to accomplish so far shows that it is possible for Ghana to achieve many things that some believe to be impossible. It is possible if we put our minds to it. We need to break the shackles of impossibility and embrace the mindset of possibility. Ladies and gentlemen, I now come to my vision. So what do I want to do in terms of vision and priorities and policies if you give me the opportunity by the grace of God to become President of the Republic? Ladies and gentlemen, in this regard, I have been engaged in a lot of consultation and doing a lot of thinking in the last few months about the lessons of the last 7 years, as well as my vision and priorities as I seek to become President of the Republic of Ghana. Clearly, the initial conditions that we inherited in 2017 are not the same as will be in 2025. Therefore, my priorities will be different. We have done many good things, and I will be seeking to build upon them. My vision, ladies and gentlemen, is to create a tent big enough to accommodate all our people, to tap into the resourcefulness and talents of our people, irrespective of our different ethnic, political, and religious backgrounds, channel our energies into building the kind of country that assures food self-sufficient, safe, prosperous, and dignified future for all Ghanaians. To create sustainable jobs with meaningful pay for all Ghana to participate fully in the fourth industrial revolution using systems and data. To realize this vision, we must have a mindset of the Ghana Revenue Authority towards broadening the tax base. Unfortunately, the pressure that is placed on GRA staff to collect revenues makes them focus on existing taxpayers. Sometimes, they even have to go and sit in people's shops to monitor sales, a process known as invigilation. In fact, many businesses feel harassed by this process and the constant audits of their operations. So this has to stop. We must strike the right balance between collecting revenue and allowing businesses to thrive. Our job is to protect the productive forces. The World Bank assessment that revenues amounting to 13% of GDP, that is $24 billion in 2023, are not collected because people are outside the taxes. Even collecting half of a quarter of this annum will be a game changer for our public finances. To do this, we need to inculcate and enforce a culture of people filing their tax returns. Incentives must be provided to encourage people to file their tax returns need a fresh start. The current tax regime has been with us since independence, and it has failed us. Many people do not pay taxes, including property tax. Too much discretion results in corruption. We want a tax regime that is easy to understand, easy to comply, and easy to enforce. And that is not subject to so much discretion. Many individuals and businesses find our tax system cumbersome and confusing. My administration will introduce a very simple, citizen and business-friendly flat tax regime. A flat tax of a percentage of income for individuals and SMEs, which constitute 98% of all businesses in Ghana, with appropriate exemption threshold set to protect them. With a new flat tax regime, a tax return should be able to be completed in just a few minutes. We will also simplify our complicated corporate tax system, the VAT regime. To start the new tax system on a clean slate, my government will provide a tax amnesty, that is a complete exemption from payment of taxes for a specified period and waiving the interest and penalties after the second year to individuals and businesses for failures to file taxes in previous years, so that everybody will start afresh. It's being laid with the provision of laptops to senior high school students very soon. Teachers have already been given the requisite training. Following the senior high school, we will also implement a one student, one laptop policy for tertiary students through the provision of a zero interest loan with 70% discount on the cost of the laptop payable over 4 years for tertiary students who need laptops. Furthermore, to become a digital hub in Africa, Ghana's telecom industry needs more investment. The cost of data for the ordinary Ghanaian has become too expensive. It goes against the very ethos of our digitalization journey. The industry cannot continue to operate at the efficiency and pricing levels of the least efficient operators. The focus has to be on the best efficiency and pricing for the consumer. I commit to working with the industry players in setting clear policy guidelines that will remove any investor uncertainty and difficulties in business planning, including the expeditious allocation of spectrum, driven more by the goal of enhancing digital inclusion and less by revenue concentration. Another area I want to tackle is reducing the cost of living. Ladies and gentlemen, a major priority of my government will be to reduce the cost of living. The cost of living in the world has increased massively following the COVID pandemic and the Russia-Ukraine war. Global inflation has increased from 1.55% in 2016 to 8.7% at the end of 2022. That is double. This is a five-fold increase. In particular, the increase in the cost of living has been driven by increases in food prices, energy prices, housing rents, and transport prices. Therefore, any attempt to reduce the cost of living on a sustainable basis must tackle agriculture, energy, housing, and transport prices. And that is exactly what I am going to do. I want a Ghana where we attain food security through the application of technology and irrigation to commercial large-scale farming. We will also promote the use of agricultural land